Hey, what's going on, guys? Podwell Sway here. I'm bringing you guys another Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. Road to 2,000. We hit 1,800, so just wanted to say thank you for that. But let's get into the video. The main talking discussion today is Suicide Squad to Kill the Justice League worth playing? I get this question all of the time. People asking me, hey man, is the game worth playing now? Should I go back to the game? Should I try it out? Hey, you make the game look really fun. Should I give it a fair shot? Should I play it? Should I try it out? Or, hey, I was an original player in Season 0. I'm looking to get back into the game. Is now the perfect time to play the game? And to answer all of those questions, I would say no. The game is honestly not for everybody. And I've kind of expressed that and have realized that over time. Obviously, if you were a big fan of the Arkham trilogy and going into this game, it's an entirely different game and really an entirely different genre of what we're used to and we were just comfortable with from Rocksteady Studios. It's obviously people online try to say it's an entirely different Rocksteady Studios. It's an entirely different company, which in some capacity is true, some capacity it's not true. Um, it's just, hey, they made a really different game from what we were used to and what we were known for, always looking forward to and playing with the Batman Arkham games. Um, so honestly, why do I say the game is not worth playing? Well, like what I said, it's not for everybody, and there's not really much going for this game. The support has been better, I would say, with Season 3, but it's clear that the developers just want to move on to their next chapter with whatever that may be, whether it's a new DC game or whether it's a new game. It seems like we're getting a new DC game since we know Rocksteady is making a new project, as I've expressed that in other videos. But what makes this game not worth playing at the moment? There just really isn't much. Obviously, if you've been playing the game and you're a big fan of it and you enjoy the looter shooter elements and the gear and killing the different brainiacs and exploring every single new Elseworld that comes out every few weeks, then obviously yeah, you're gonna really enjoy it. But from a story perspective, and I would guess say from a narrative perspective, there really isn't much going for this game, which is fine, but from what we're used to, it's an entirely different change of pace. Obviously, we were used to really good storytelling and great narratives from Rocksteady Studios, while Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has struggled to hit those lines and to hit those points that we were used to with their old games. Obviously, what I tell people and what I'm going to say in this video about is the game worth playing, your best bet is to wait until the game is finished. And what I mean by that is once Season 4 concludes and we either get, hey, we're getting a Year 2 announcement from Rocksteady Studios, or the game is done, that's when it's probably your best time to play the game. So you get to see the full return of the Justice League. Because obviously we've gotten the return of the Flash, we've gotten the return of Green Lantern, and next season we're going to be getting the return of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Well, Wonder Woman is a maybe, but we can only assume that Wonder Woman will be reappearing, since from what we've heard that they will all be there once we defeat the Brainiac, the final Brainiac, the 13th Brainiac, if you will. So that's when I think the game will be worth playing, because there will be a lot of stuff to do, and the narrative, the story will be finished. To what capacity, we really don't know. Is it going to be left in a big cliffhanger? Most likely, because we can only assume that a lot of the content that was originally planned and what they had drawn out has been cut, because they've only said that we will get 4 seasons, while we know originally the main story was supposed to span across, I think, 6 seasons. Can that still happen? Yeah, that's totally a possibility, but WB and Rocksteady hasn't really spoke about the future, and knowing that Rocksteady's A-team has moved on to their next project, it's only really an assumption. But to say, like, obviously, since I'm a big fan of this game and I love this game, I've expressed that. Yeah, call me crazy for enjoying this game, but honestly, like, yeah, I would tell you, like, the bias in me would say, oh yeah, totally try this game out, dude, it's awesome. But from a realistic standpoint, I would say just wait for the game to end. Wait for all of the Justice League members to come back. Wait for the game to go on a super sale. Get it at a good, reasonable price for what it's, priced at. Obviously, because it's on sale right now, and you could probably even get it for even cheaper once the game fully wraps up. and then you get to experience the main story of killing the Justice League, and then you get to experience the post-game content of saving the Justice League and defeating Brainiac. So it feels like, you're not getting spoon-fed. You're at least getting everything you've at least paid for, and that's probably been, people's biggest problems with live service games. It just feels like you're not really getting enough. And I would say, like, especially too with the main story is really short. Especially, I would say, compared to previous entries like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight. It kind of felt like Arkham Origins in story length, but when you combine, the post-game launch content of defeating 13 Brainiacs and, reviving each individual Justice League member, you combine those, then it's a pretty reasonable length and story. But obviously, like realistically, I want people to try out the game and just play it and see if they enjoy it. If they don't enjoy it, it's cool. I get comments all the time. Just wanted to just address it because, like what I said, I get comments all the time. People asking me, "Hey, is it worth going back to now?" And I would just have to say, currently, no. But once the game finishes and all the Justice League members come back, then I would say, hey, if you really wanted to try the game out, if you really wanted to give it a fair shot, or if you wanted to come back to it after playing the main story most likely and beating it, that would probably be your best opportunity and probably the most enjoyable part, because you at least get to see how the narrative will end and how the story plays out, if that makes sense. Obviously, though, I've been supporting this game really since day one, and I'm going to continue supporting it, whether the game ends at Season 4, which I strongly believe it will, or if the game gets a year 2. I'm just going to continue to upload this game and enjoy it, since it's, been a lot of fun. But like what I said, this game isn't for everybody. So most people, it's probably in their best interest to not really worry about the extra side content, like the mayhem missions, the incursions, and just going in, doing the bare minimum, and basically saving each Justice League member, and then finishing the actual story. Now, my biggest concern, and it still is a concern, will we get an actual ending of the Suicide Squad and the Justice League defeating Brainiac? Well, we'll just have to find out. But until that point, I'll just have to tell most people that the game just doesn't really offer much right now. But, if you are a fan of, the looter shooter, system, and understand how that works, then obviously, you might have some, I guess, what's the word? You might have something to look forward to, if you want to come back into the game, because there's been a lot more, there's a ton of new characters, infamous characters, so gear, not necessarily characters, because there's only been 3 characters added, and that's Joker, Harley, and Lawless. But we also can't forget that Season 4 will also be dropping Deathstroke, and obviously we'll be getting the return of 3 Justice League members. So like what I said, honestly, if you want to get back into this game, and if people comment in the future if they should get back into the game, I hope they honestly see this video so that I don't have to answer that question anymore, because it's a weird question to answer, because it's like I want to answer it in the most non-biased way possible, because obviously, like what I said, I want everyone to play the game, and I wish everyone enjoyed the game, because I enjoyed the game. But, the reality is, hey, this game didn't do well, and it's not really regarded as a great game by the community, which I totally understand and totally get that, because it's not really what anyone wanted, and it's kind of completely different, and at times it is a little bit lackluster compared to what we once had. But yeah, so basically to wrap up and answer and conclude what I was saying, just wait until the game ends. Just wait until either Rocksteady decides to pull the plug on the game, or they announce that the Brainiac storyline's finished and they're preparing for year 2, which I highly doubt. But we do know that, hey, year 2 was originally planned, but things change, which we understand. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope this answers a question that a lot of y'all have had, and I just ask that comments please stay respectful. I'm not at all forcing people to try and play this game. You have free will to play whatever game you want to play, which is why I play this game, and I enjoy it. It's also your opinion if you don't enjoy the game, but I'm just answering to the majority of people that ask me, is the game worth coming back to? Is the game worth playing? In which I would have to say at this current time, no, but once it finishes, yes. Anyways, though, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Pineapple Sway. Please consider liking and subscribing. And once again, thank you guys for 1,800 subscribers. It truly means a lot. This is Pineapple Sway. Peace out.